Okay, when I read that poem, I believe that it is necessary to understand the context. It was during the First World War, and my first impression is that war is the worst options because war destroys cities, families, and nations. Additionally, the effects of war include for a long period of time physical and psychological harm for children and adults. To be honest, I love that poem. When I was reading, I have been thinking about different parts of that. For example, I refuse to believe that I can change the world. Dreams come true, especially if you are young. You have ideas, creativity, and a lot of energy to shape a better world, but sometimes change that vision in the middle of the war because an enormous groups of teenagers would join to call to flight, but it was the worst experience for anybody. The second interesting expression was happiness comes from within is a light and money will make me happy. This is a controversial idea, but if I were them, I would be very pessimist because when people live in a warm, lost their hope. I would like to read a side of letter from a boy in a World War One. Dear Lord Kitchener, I am an Irish boy, 9 years of age, and I want to go to the front. I can ride jolly quickly on my bicycle. I will go to a dispatch reader. I wouldn't let the Germans get in. I am a good shot with a revolver. I will kill a good view of the Germans. This is very sad. If you ask me, I would like to understand that situation for boys and girls that environment was sad and very aggressive. The other part of the poem said, my employer will know that I have my priorities straight because work is more important than family. I disagree with that expression, but if you imagine that context, that person lost all essential part in their lives, what did that people feel that way? Lost a Generations is a group of writers that describe how they came to the world with a set of values that were not relevant after the First World War. The last interesting expression was I don't know consider that I will live in a country of my own making. In that part of the poem, I interpret that. Quite frankly, children were particularly affected by the war because their parents were absent and death of family or family friends. For that reason, there is only one opinion to think in another reality. The young people will be planning new options for the future. My generation is apathetic and lethargic. It is a foolish to presume that there is hope. Finally, in that expression, it must admit that their argument is sad, but is current with that moment. Sometimes I feel very sad when I have been thinking about what could be our responsibility to the next generations related to environmental problems, economic, politics, and religion is similar to the poem because I am keen on the future generation and I would like to change to propose another alternative for change people.